Today I'm back with another little mini video. This is concerning repair documentation, but before I start I would like to promote my online buddy's channel, which also concerns electronics, and he is Jack, the Vintage Electronics Geek. You can go over and check his channel out. He covers various different subjects. I will put a link in the description of this video. I will put a link there, and I will blend something in the course of this video. Now, if you ever wondered how I ever kept track of all the units I repaired, or probably you didn't wonder at all, I simply have a form that I use. It's called the Diagnosis and Repair Report, and I'm going to put a link to this so it can be downloaded from Dropbox just in case anybody is interested. I had a whole bunch of these all filled out, I think until about last year. Then I thought about quitting my channel. I really didn't want to do it no more, and I threw everything away. So basically I had to start again. So I made up this one page, well, as it says here, Diagnosis and Repair Report. It was at once 2 pages, but 2 pages is really overkill. And anything extra, you can always use the back of the paper. And what we have here, it states the manufacturer, like for example, that could be Sony, Kenwood, or whatever, the model number, and I got the serial number. Then we have the date and the symptoms. What is the unit doing? For example, it doesn't power up, or one channel is out, or the lights are out, or whatever. And if we go down a little bit below that, we have the signal and voltage checks. Here we have test points, voltage, and other. So for example, you can just write down, say it's a collector of the main output transistors, so and so voltage, and any other pertinent information. Again, as I said, or rather as I mentioned, if you run out of space, just turn the paper over and write on the back. Now going further down the page, we have the diagnosis section, and for this I just write down, for example, well, the output transistors are bad, or this switch had a bad contact, or you have a faulty ground, or just whatever. Whatever conclusion you come to. And at the very bottom we have the parts. I'll go ahead and write in, for example, say I replace the, just as an example, power output emitter resistors. I write that in there. Or if I replace any fuses or anything else I can think of, that all goes down there. And again, if you want, you can download this. You can, it's going to be in PDF form. So if you want, you can even like modify it, make it larger, make it smaller, whatever. I really don't care. I just hope somebody has use for something like this. Also, the page size, I made it up in A4 size. It's not US letter size, because most of my subscribers and watchers, they're from all over the world, but it shouldn't really be a problem now printing this thing out. Again, it always pays to have some kind of documentation. I mean, how many times if you repair something, even if it's just like one unit, say you repaired your own unit and that's it, and a year or two something else is wrong with the unit, you want to go ahead and look at all the parts you replaced and see exactly what you measured and what you did. So it is especially so, this is especially true if you do, let's say, a unit a month or dozens of units or whatever. It's always good to have some kind of documentation on hand. That way I can always go back and say, okay, I did this Sony. Say if I'm working on a Sony and it has a similar problem, I can go ahead and look. I can look at, say for example, it's of course not it filled in here, but if it's a Sony model number so-and-so, then I can go ahead and go back and take a look at what I did to these other units. So this might be pretty handy, or rather it could be. Anyways, I think I don't have anything else to add to this. I'll go ahead and put a link to the download. You can download it from Dropbox and do with the report, if you're anyway at all interested, do with it whatever you feel like. That's all for now. Thanks for watching.